What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, going over what I think they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game right now. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you're most excited to see change in this year's Fortnite update, or what type of change you're most looking forward to. For me, it's definitely the map changes. That's always something that I really look forward to in Fortnite, and something that as a player makes me most excited to play. Last year we did get a whole new POI with Freaky Fields replacing Reckless Railways, and then there was also a bunch of other like kind of more minor changes on the map or changes to existing POIs. So I'm hoping the map changes go all out. And the Fortnite update this year is expected to be on October 10th, so we're about 2 weeks away from the launch of that. And I think if you are a Fortnite player, obviously right now is not the most exciting time to play the game. A lot of people are kind of like burnt out or losing interest or not really that excited about things. But the next few weeks I think will get pretty crazy and can get pretty good, because we have the Fortnite update coming soon, as I touched on. After that, in November, we will be having a month-long mini-season, and that is expected to be on a different map than this one. And then in December, we'll obviously have Chapter 7 as well, which is going to be another entirely new map and all of that stuff. So right now isn't the hottest time for Fortnite, or the most exciting time. It's about to ramp up. Like I said, 2 weeks Fortnite starts. Hopefully that carries the rest of October. Then we have the mini season in November. Things are about to get pretty crazy. I decided to go for the Hive this game. I know I went here for the last one of these videos I made, and maybe even the one prior to that, but with how the game currently is, it's hard to know or predict what kind of area will be hot or populated with like decent players. And you would expect it to be the boss locations, but in last week's update, Fortnite broke the queen icons on the map, so it's hard to even know which POIs will be spawning queens. The Hive is the only location for the Mythic Revolver, so that queen is guaranteed to be here. And so that's why I expect this POI to be just one of the safer bets in terms of like an area to spectate that actually has some sort of action in the early game. I would want to pursue this kill heavily if I was this player. The other one shooting him in the right is an AI. They don't matter. Just like the way they're shooting their gun, it's kind of easy to tell they're an AI. He unfortunately shockwaved too far there. If he didn't jump when he shockwaved, what is going on, bro? If he just like flat shockwaved, then I think he would have had a better chance at like pressuring this kill. But the fact that he jumped when he did it, he went too far. And then like this person is able to buy more time and continue to survive. And maybe this fight gets turned on him. The player is still under this, yeah. This should be a kill, but like everything about this player has like stressed me out thus far. The longer you let people survive like this, the more likely it is the fight gets turned on you. And they like have had a very hard time closing this kill. They have no ammo in any of their guns. Somebody else has eliminated the queen and gotten the Mythic Revolver. And so now he's dead. That goes to show what I was talking about. The small mistake of just messing up the shockwave and then being a little bit too slow to repressure and then not playing it just like as cleanly as needed, the fight gets turned on them. And that should have been an unlosable fight. This player that we're currently spectating needs to be worried about the other person that's at this POI. The queen has just been eliminated and somebody took the Mythic Pistol. And he doesn't seem to be worried about that at all, which is surprising. I don't even mean in terms of like he needs to shock on that person's head and make sure they get the Mythic Pistol, but like the way he was walking out in the open healing and stuff, I'm pretty sure the other player could have had line of sight on him and killed him. Now they're pulling up to him. Hasn't been able to heal very much, and that's just that. That's Mythic Pistol GG's, but yeah, it seemed like he didn't know there was another person at the POI. Like it seemed like he was surprised by that kind of. Gets tags there. Not enough to really key off, I don't think. And he drank a mini, which makes me think he's not going to push it. If he was going to push this fight, I think he would have popped the slurp and just gone for it. Does he even have mobility? It's an A tier thing here, so he should get shockwaves out of this. Okay, yeah, he does have shocks. Okay, rocketed? Oh, no. I would just want to get out of here if I was this player. Once you get these mythics and you've eliminated the boss and everything, I feel like it's just best to get out of the area, because you often have so many other players coming from who knows what direction trying to third party you. If you're able to just get away, get somewhere else, you kind of reset the situation and make things a bit more normal and less chaotic. There's still more and more people kind of dogpiling on this location. Is a bunker over here? It is. So he could go open that. He's A tier. I feel like the bunkers aren't the most like insane priority at the moment. The exotics we have left in the loot pool I feel like are kind of meh. My favorite was the exotic OXR, and that is now only in ranked. It's not in pubs. A lot of people like the exotic fury. The exotic revolver is good, but this person has the mythic, and between the mythic and exotic revolver, it's kind of a toss-up. I don't like just full leaving at this point, though. So there's people fighting on the edge of the POI there. I think he could have kind of stayed behind and got shots on them. He kind of drove away, and now he's trying to come back. I don't really know what's going on with this player. That's like one of my least favorite things to spectate. Or like one of my least favorite things I see when I'm making one of these spectating videos is just indecisiveness. Like he didn't know if he wanted to leave, and then he wanted to come back in third party, maybe because he saw the crown, I don't know. But like when those people were actively fighting on the edge of the POI, it would have been like an easier situation for him to third party, but he kind of ruined that timing because he like wanted to drive away and come back. So it works out, he gets everything done, but that's like 2 more shockwaves wasted that maybe didn't need to be wasted. Oh my gosh. The fizz there, that would be nice to have. I probably would really want to go for the bunker actually if I was this player, because he doesn't have a hammer yet. And with the use of his shockwaves, he now only has 3. And the bunkers, if the OXR crate gives you shockwaves, it drops in stacks of 3. So if he gets it from that, he'd be max shocks. But also the OXR crates have a decent chance of giving you a hammer. And then the rest of the loot can maybe be helpful to him as well. But like not having a hammer is something that is a problem. Somebody else has opened the bunker though in the time that he was like kind of messing around, taking a while to third party that fight there. Seems like he's not going to be dealing with the Megazord, and I think that's a fine decision. This isn't the person that's opened the bunker, I don't think. Yeah, that was an AI. So there might still be somebody else in the bunker right now. I'll talk about the Megazord in a moment once we see what's kind of going on with this bunker, if there's still somebody else here or what. Let's see if we can hear anything. Okay, I was going to say if we can hear anything as he gets closer, but the garage doors need to make the noise of opening again. I don't know what's going on. Like weirdly stood there. Seems like they left. And there's not really anything relevant for him to get here. Unless he wants gold. But I was going to say, it doesn't seem like he cares about getting the Megazord or being active in that situation, and I think that's a very fine decision. The Megazord is an area that's often very chaotic, and then you have the other players and the Megazord itself, which can just, like, basically insta-kill you. And so being in that situation is a risk, and being in that situation with only shockwaves, I think is not a good risk. If I am going to be in the Megazord area, I really want to have shockwaves and a hammer. But even then, it's not really something you need to prioritize or focus on, because getting that medallion is really not the end-all be-all. It's good to have, but it's not like that crazy in fights or anything. And so I really don't mind just getting it off another player. Unfortunately, we can't see the Megazord's health on Spectator, so we don't know if this is about to die or not. It just eliminated the queen, so it's going to get heals off that. I would kind of want to see this player just get in that car and drive elsewhere. I think being here is not good for him. Yeah, now the Megazord's kind of fixated on him. Gonna get some damage. You see it's 350 air ammo, so it's not like the boon is like a huge priority. At this point in time, he's fine with air ammo. He's using a lot to mag dump it onto the Megazord, and the boon will help him regain that. But if he chose to just full ignore the Megazord, ammo should not be a problem for him at all for the remainder of the game. He has hundreds, and each kill you get from this point on in the game is probably going to be someone that was decently stacked on ammo. So it's not like the boon is like something that needs to be important to you in this situation. And then as I was saying, the medallion's good, but I kind of don't mind just letting somebody else get it and then getting it off them. See if he just full leaves now. I can't tell if he was just going to leave after getting the boon or not. I kind of think he was. And that I don't know. I feel like that's just like an unnecessary mistake. And, you know, his car is weak now. If the Megazord blows up his car, things could get bad for him. But when you already have almost 400 AR ammo, that boon does not need to be a priority to you at all. I wish we could see its HP and like the graph on it though. Okay, the Megazord just died. The player is going to rift out of the air though, so I would want to kind of be... Okay, I was going to say I would want to be looking higher up and see where that player spawns. Because you don't want to get caught off guard if they do like land somewhat near you. OXR crate right there that could potentially have a hammer in it. Rip. Wow, that was a disappointing crate. There's a hammer. I'm gonna see if they take it though. They seem to be not sure if they want to take it. I think the fizz over the minis 100%. I didn't see how much was in that fizz, but yeah. Alright, full shocks, hammer, mythic pistol. Things are looking good for this player. There is a launch pad on by that crate over there, yeah. Getting to S tier soon. That boon would be nice to have, but again, not a huge priority. There was somebody just hammering in the area. The way this player loots stresses me out. Why do we need to stand there and look at the chest for that long? I think they're AFK. And this is one of the ultimate struggles with making these videos. It's just like random things like this happen. And it's hard to make a story with a player that's just kind of gonna randomly stop playing. This person's going for the hammer melee. And that is why going for the melee and forcing it is bad. Almost full got turned on its head there. This hollow twister is making the noise of a shotgun. That's just a bug that happens sometimes with the guns. It's not actually like shooting shotgun ammo or anything. Let's go back and see if that other guy's playing the game. He is. But yeah, going for the melee with the hammer is something that is very flippy. And a lot of times you just send the person away from you and like that might be what they want in that situation. As far as melee weapons go, the shockwave hammer is one of the least useful, I think, in Fortnite. Rift pod spawned in. I would definitely want to go for that player. If I was in a situation where I had minis and the Rift pod came in, I would want those slurps desperately. Also, the medallion player is kind of in that area. He's going to get in a helicopter and leave. But yeah, I would really want this Rift pod. It's good shots. You could get out and push that, but if he just does nothing, then that person's gonna get away, I think. We'll see if what heals they have. Another person pulling up on a rolly. That's actually excellent for the guy that's directly under him. He could just get out of the helicopter then and then land in the bunker. Somebody right on the hill as well. Okay, this is chaotic. But that guy that's down there in that bunker just benefited so much from that because these people have drawn the attention away from the person that was pressuring him, and now he's gonna get a full chance to heal. And again, we'll see if that comes back to bite this player. Does them letting that player survive grief them? The fight going on down into his left in the POI. And it sounds like those players are heavy fighting because they're like shooting pistols and stuff. Looks like he's going to pursue this Emma Frost. Like a weird situation because there's like so many different people here. And like he's kind of like started stuff with all of them. I don't really care for the helicopter though. He's like very susceptible to getting pried off like this. Like when you're just sitting stationary, like it might seem like you have like great vision on everything, but a lot of things have great vision on you as well. And with red dot ARs like the Holo and the MK in the game, like you can very quickly lose fights. There was still that other player in Ranger's Ruin, remember? Okay, they're hammering on him right now, I think. Yeah, they just shot him in the back. He's gonna hammer away. He has lots of mobility, which is great. We don't know if that player at Ranger's Ruin has like full hammer and shockwaves to chase. But look at his HP. It just got full shredded there. He only has minis, so the situation really isn't going to get that much better for him. If he had something like a Fizz or Big Pots or the Slurps, he could get back to 200 HP. But having only minis, he's not going to be able to get to 200 HP. And so this reset in time doesn't even really help him that much. But him almost dying there is what the point I was trying to make on like letting all these people survive. Because he was just like putting himself in the middle of everything and like forcing fights with everybody, he ends up in a situation where it almost cost him. And that player's aim was good. So like the longer you let that person survive and just continue to get engages on you, one of them is like gonna go their way. Having double mobility there really helped him though. Because I think the person who pushed him, like their hammer was obviously on cooldown because they used it to get there. And I don't think they had shockwaves of their own to chase. He's going to need a big pot here, so he's going to get to full health. But I think if that enemy had shockwaves as well, we would be spectating them at this point. What he could have done, though, was when he was on the mountain kind of shooting at that Emma Frost when she was just behind the rock, there was other people fighting inside of Ranger's Ruin. And if he looked to third party that with his AR, like just get tags on it, he might have been able to like clean that fight up and make it to where there wasn't anybody left in Ranger's Ruin, obviously, depending on how weak they were and stuff. And then he wouldn't have gotten third partied after like dealing with that Emma Frost. Is the rift pod still in? Okay, no, somebody got it. Get the S tier boon here. I don't think that's like a huge like difference maker. It's nice to have, I guess, but it's not like, it's not gonna be make or break. If it was S plus, it's still not make or break, but it's like nicer to have for that unlimited sprint. Gonna drop his hammer for this other one here because it'll be full. And I would imagine he's just gonna go on that mountain now. There's a player up there with a hired NPC already, but that's like kind of the ideal spot to be in this zone. There's 3 total players remaining. This left mountain is better than that tall one. That tall one is higher up, sure. But with how this zone is playing, the area that can just kind of full fry the tall part is still in zone. If that low part of the mountain wasn't in zone, then getting the high part was good. Like, if the zone was, like, over shiny shafts, then being on the tall part is good. But the tall part is, like, kind of right here. And your entire backside is exposed. And so, the entire zone basically just has free beams on the top part of this mountain. So, unless you have bunkers, you don't want to be there, even though it is the highest point in zone. Like, a lot of people just assume high ground is automatically good. But that high ground on the tall part of the mountain on the right is actually, like, really bad to be for this zone. Is there somebody up there already getting shot at? This person is maybe putting themselves in the worst possible spot. It looks like the person on the low part of the mountain was shooting at the high part of the mountain. Gets beams, but there's a car driving up to him as well. I would kind of just want to go back to where he was, yeah. I feel like he's going to get third partied. With how small this zone is, it's not like it's super small, but it's small enough to where people can easily get on you. I do not like that. So he just used a big pot for like, I don't even know how much health. I think like 10 or something. And so now he's stuck with minis again. Again, I would rather have one big than this amount of minis. You get more heals out of the 6 minis over time, sure. But that's only if you keep getting cracked down to under 50 and then retopping off to 50. And a lot of times in zero build, that's just not going to happen. You want to be able to reset a fight and get to the most amount of HP you can get to. And the next few fights are going to decide the outcome of the game. The game isn't going to go much longer. It's going to be like one fight is going to break out, and then everybody's just going to chain third party. So I think having that one big pot would be significantly better than 6 minis, even if he's a bit weaker for now because of it. He's just going to leave. Maybe not. It's a somewhat bad fight for both of these players. Just getting on each other dry like that with revolvers, you see he gets third party. I was going to say, getting on each other dry like that with just revolvers, it's a kind of a flippy fight that can go either way. And with the way the zone is and how the game is currently playing, you're pretty much guaranteed to get third partied. And then, as I was trying to say that, he just gets full fried in the back. There's a med kit down here for him, which is great. I think he actually would have died if he didn't drink that big pot, because he survived with 3 HP. So I guess I was wrong, but like, yeah. As soon as this cowgirl player was like pulling up on him, he probably should have just tried to shockwave away and leave. If they get up on you like that without any early tags in a situation like this where you're guaranteed to get third partied, it's probably just best to give up that area. And you see he had to leave anyways. Things are getting worse and worse for this player though. Hammer on full cooldown, 1 shockwave remaining. He can't reset many more times. This fight is probably just going to have to happen versus Miku. And he needs to like get shots on them and then look towards Ranger Rune. You need to beam this person and then look for the third party, which is kind of what he did. But if you get too tunnel visioned on dealing with this Miku, the other person is probably going to third party. Luckily, the shockwave hammer makes a good amount of noise, so he'll probably know when it's happening. But ideal case for him here is he fries the Miku. Other player kind of overexposes because of it. He can fry them. Now his cover's gone. This is good. The other players are fighting. He's hammering across, though. This is just going to be such a coin flip game. He's going to 50-50 this person, which is going to... Yeah, it's just a coin flip. Yeah, that I don't know. It's hard to talk about. The thing with the heals, I guess, did really help him because he got a lot of use out of the minis because he kept getting cracked. But in situations like that game state, it often doesn't play out that way, where you're able to just keep get away and resetting. I think if he went a little less hard on that endgame third party, like if he tried to get up the hill and then maybe like fry the cowgirl lady and then hold the Miku, maybe things could have worked out for him. But I also kind of get why he wanted to hop on that person, because if he gets the kill cleanly, he has a mythic revolver, he can hit a hard shot. I could have seen that going his way. But yeah, that was an interesting game. As always, if you guys found that to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.